Hi there, Joel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening. I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
I see a few other people are joining.
Yeah, I think we are having issues connecting currently, but we expect more participants in a few minutes.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join and then we'll get started. I see everybody's quite shy, so nobody's got their cameras on, which is also okay. I don't bite, I promise. What I will do is I'll send a message on the chat so that those of you who are already on LinkedIn can also reach out and connect with me in case you have any questions after today's session.
All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I would suggest that we start now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Did you want to do any intros? Do you have any information that you want to give anybody that they need to be aware of for follow-up or anything like that? Do they need to contact you, or how do you want to get going?
No, not also. No, not also.
Okay, excellent stuff. Well, welcome everybody. I'm used to seeing people's faces, so today's a bit different for me. So, if you want to share your camera, feel free. If you don't want to, that's okay. But just make sure that if you do want to ask any questions, use the chat as well as just raise your hand on the reactions button so I can see if you have any questions. My name is Laubscher. I'm based here in the UK, originally from South Africa, but I've been here for almost 20 years. And I spend a lot of my time helping various people from around the world on how to leverage LinkedIn for your own success. So whether that be a corporate, CEO who runs a big company, or individual. If I could ask you just to turn your sounds onto mute, just in case, so we don't get feedback unless you're talking, that'll be great. There we go. Excellent. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the things that I wish I had somebody go through with me. When I started on LinkedIn. So I believe most people are from a law background. If that's correct, if you could do me a favor just in the chat, tell me what you're specializing in and what you're studying at the moment so that I can have some idea of examples of things that I can go through with you today that would be relevant to you on LinkedIn. If you've got a LinkedIn account as well, if you could do us a favor and just pop the link to your LinkedIn account into the chat as well so that we can connect afterwards. So the main aim today is to give you a bit of an overview on LinkedIn, understand how LinkedIn, the machine works, and then how you can leverage that to be able to build your network and also be able to get career opportunities in the future. How do you stand out from the crowd? Because unfortunately, when it comes to applications, if any of you have already started applying for different positions around the world, you'll find that you may apply for a lot of positions and very few people will actually come back and respond to you. So this is to be able to help you make sure that you stand out of the crowd and you have a much stronger chance of getting on the radar of those companies you really want to work with. So let me start. I'm going to share my screen. A second. If you can just let me know, Joel, if I could ask you just to let me know if everybody can see the screen. Give me 2 seconds.
All right.
There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Excellent stuff. Fantastic. That's good to hear. So let's get started with that. Okay. So one of the things that if you are looking for additional resources after this and you want to go watch some videos on LinkedIn tips and experts, I have interviewed several different experts from around the world, and you can go and find me on YouTube. I have my own channel called Life Hacks with Mac. So another resource for you to be able to go and have a look at. So just to give you an idea of how big and what the opportunity is like on LinkedIn. Prior to the pandemic and lockdown, LinkedIn had 630 million people on there, including 3 million MBA graduates, as an example. And this was prior to December 2019. Since that period, mid last year, we reached 774 million people through to February, March this year. And you can see where most of those people are located. So there's a lot of people around the world. And just in Nigeria itself, we've got over 5 million users on LinkedIn now. If you have a look at some of the growth over the last couple of months, it's now gone just over 800 million. It's now crossed that number. And you can see the red arrows. Those are the areas where there's been significant growth over the last 3 to 4 months. So there's a lot of opportunity globally. If any of you have got aspirations to work outside of the country that you're currently in, please throw in the comments which countries you would like to go and work in, and even some company names of companies that you would like to work for, because I can show you how you can then target those countries as well as the specific companies and how to get onto their radar today as well. So with LinkedIn, it's really important to be able to have a clear strategy. There are a lot of people on LinkedIn, and they'll go onto LinkedIn and they'll go and apply for a lot of jobs, or they'll go onto the job boards and they'll just keep applying and don't get many responses. And they go and post, on occasion on LinkedIn, but don't get any response. And they reach out to try and connect with all the right people, but they get no response from those people either because they don't follow the right strategy. So what I'm going to go through with you today is I'm going to explain to you how to use your profile, your content, and your connection strategy all together to be able to make sure that you get the best results from LinkedIn. Okay, so here are some of the problems that most people face, and I've covered some of these already. So 90% of people on LinkedIn get absolutely no results. So what I'm going to teach you today will put you in the top 10% just by having this knowledge and being able to go and apply some of these things. So most people don't get any business or opportunities through LinkedIn. They don't know what they don't know. So one of the reasons we're going through this with you today. And very few people get engagement when it comes to LinkedIn itself. So one of the things, the main point for me over here today is to make sure that, point 7, 8, and 9, that you get a return on your investment on the time spent, because as you probably are aware, there's so many different social media platforms out there. And it's so easy to just spend time scrolling through and watching videos and get lost on the platform and not really get any benefit from it. So LinkedIn is seen as the highest trusted source online when it comes to business and people's profiles. So one of the things I'd suggest and I'd recommend you do is, if you go onto Google right now and just go and put your name in and let me know where LinkedIn come up on the results for you on a Google search. Is it the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or does it not come up at all? So if you don't mind just having a look at your own name, putting that in Google, and tell me what number LinkedIn ranks on your search results. So as an example, I'm just going to go onto Google over here and show you, if I put in Mac Laubscher into Google, it's going to come up for me as the #1 LinkedIn result. So, or the #1 search result. And that's because LinkedIn and Microsoft and Google work together to authenticate and try and find the best result when it comes to name searches on Google, to be able to make sure that the best person comes up as well. So LinkedIn, if somebody lands on your name, you want to make sure that if they do go onto your name, that the profile and when they land on your profile, it gives them the right message and tells them exactly who you are, what it is that you do, and give you the strongest opportunity for that person to either connect with you or give you the job opportunity, or even if you're looking at working with people or partnering, or you're looking at for new clients in your own business, you want to make sure that when they land on your profile, there's a chance that at least they know who you are, what you are, and whether you have that professional profile or not. So we've got 3 different profiles that we're going to go through today, just for the agenda, so that you can see. And what I'll do is I'll go through those 3 individuals' profiles and have a look at the different areas that you need to be focused on and what we can do to improve your profile and increase your chances of success on LinkedIn. We're also going to look at posting and connecting. And these are the areas that I suggest everybody, if you can take a screenshot or a photo, you can have a look at all these areas. These are the key areas you want to make sure that you have completed on LinkedIn. Now, the easiest way to do that is if you go onto LinkedIn and you click on me at view profile, it will give you this page over here, which I'm on already. And there is a little tab over here, which says add section. Now, it doesn't give you, LinkedIn's not obvious because a lot of its instructions, unless you are on there, it doesn't follow a natural course. But if you click on add section, it then gives you this drop down. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that under add section, every single one of these areas you have gone and completed so that you have the best opportunity of being found on LinkedIn as an expert at what you do. So I'm going to pick on Joel, if that's okay, to start with. Let me go over here. Let's just check. Joel, are you still around? Okay, Joel's just come back into the room, I think. Joel, are you still there?
Yes, I apologize. I lost connection. Thank you. I'm back.
No problems at all. So I'm going to start with your profile, if it's okay, Joel.
All right, yeah.
And we want to go through, the key things that stand out. So I can see, Joel, you already have 5,000 followers. So you've crossed that magic number on LinkedIn. You get a lot more exposure once you hit the 5,000 follower mark. So well done. How long have you been on LinkedIn, Joel?
I joined around February last year. Yeah.
Okay, so well done. You've been getting those numbers stacking up quite nicely. So the things that I'll go through now will make a massive difference to your acceptance rate and also the type of conversations you have. Because for LinkedIn, it's all about credibility and making sure that when somebody clicks on your profile, that they know that it's a real person that they're connecting with, that the person is credible and also professional. Now, LinkedIn has changed a lot. You don't have to be overly professional as in suit and tie all the time, but you need to make sure that things are clear. So as an example, if we start on your profile, let me go back to share screen. Okay, so if we look at your profile, Joel, one of the key things that I would suggest, and this is for everybody, is have a look at your photograph. Make sure that you try and fill this picture as much as possible and make sure that you take the picture against a blank background. So as an example, Joel, I'm not sure what's quite coming out the side of your head there, but I used to have a picture where I was speaking on stage with a microphone and beautiful trees behind me, but it looked like I had cauliflower coming out of the side of my head because one of the trees looked like something that was popping out the back of my head. So it can be, but what you want to do is you want to make sure your picture is nice and clear. So I would take that picture and try and fill that circle and take it a bit more clear because this one's a little bit blurred, and you're allowed to smile as well. So it's not the end of the world if you don't smile, or if you
okay.
So for me, generally speaking, if you look at my emojis and stuff like that, I generally have a cap on because this is just my brain. Yeah. Everything is black. It's how I show up everywhere. And even if you've got a Bitmoji, I've got a Bitmoji and it looks like me as well and is dressed in the same outfit as well. So if you go onto my profile, you'll see that there's me with my cap on, and I will have that generally on most of my, and it's current as well. So you can see how I filled the circle there, and that's what you want to do on your profile is you want to fill it as much as possible. So we're going to go back to Joel. There we go. Joel, I know you've personalized your URL, which is really, it's one of the best things to do straight away. Is for anybody who wants to do it. If you go onto your profile, click View Profile, and you can do this on mobile or on computer. But on the top right-hand side, when you're on your own profile, it says Edit Public Profile. And you want to go on there and make sure that it doesn't have all those numbers next to it. And you just click the little pencil. You can then rename that to have your own name in there. Now, for me, I actually shortened my name because I don't know if anybody else has problems with people pronouncing your name. But
yeah, exactly.
Mine, there was a radio program today about how badly people pronounce people's names, and I'm, I prefer pronouncing somebody's name correctly than not doing it correctly. But my name gets butchered all the time, so I've had to shorten my name to Mac because Michael. Most people just it's the UK that people are lazy when it comes to trying to learn pronunciations. So for me, I've used that, but there is something on here. So if I show you, if you see this little emblem next to my name, you can see there's this little speaker thing.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that every one of you go on LinkedIn, onto your mobile phone, and you go and edit and LinkedIn on the LinkedIn app on your mobile. You've got an option to go, if you click on your profile picture on the top left, you go into settings and you go into view profile and you scroll down to where it has your recording. If you click the little pencil button, this one over here on the mobile, it gives you an option to then go and record. So I don't know if you can see that, but it gives you an option to record.
Okay.
Where is it? Why is that? There you go. So you can actually record the pronunciation of your name, which means it makes it a lot easier if you've got strangers who want to connect to you, but they're too embarrassed to know how to pronounce your name. So if you go and use that, it's really useful. So for me, I've got, I don't know if you can hear that.
Okay, yeah.
So mine, I've pronounced my name, but I've also just put, because you've got 10 seconds to go and record something in there. And it gives people an opportunity to hear your voice and know that you're a real person as well. So I would suggest go and put that in there. The next thing is over here, you've got Tech Law Enthusiast, president at Tech Savvy Law Club. So it's got quite a bit of information on who you are. One of the things that I would suggest is, at the moment you're a law graduate, but it's, what are the opportunities that you're also looking for? So you may want to put in at the end over here, looking for opportunities with XYZ company, so that at least what it is that you're looking for in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
It's a great opportunity to brand yourself. The other thing is this gray banner at the back here. So LinkedIn changed that a couple of years ago, where you've got this banner. And if you go onto mine as an example, you'll see I've got this banner over here. But the banner, you want to have something that's reflective of who you are and what you do. So as an example for yours, where you're studying law, Joel, what type of law are you going into?
I prefer corporate and commercial practice.
Okay. So as an example, if you go on to, there is a website called canva.com. Some of you may know it. Canva has some free templates for LinkedIn. So if you type in LinkedIn, here we go, LinkedIn banner. And you'll see there are loads of free banners that you can go in and go look at. And you can go and look for something that's a bit more professional and just put that in the background. So you could have, if we go, as an example, And, for now, you may want to go and choose something. Have a look at that.
Okay.
You can do something as simple as, let's say this one over here. Now, if you like me and you watch a lot of, I don't know if anybody's watched the series Suits.
Yeah.
But you may want to have a nice banner like this, where you go and put your name on there, and then instead of professional businessman, you can put their law graduate looking for opportunities in corporate, as an example, corporate law, and then put your own photograph over there, because it's that easy to change it, and you can upload your own photograph. So you can take a banner like that very quickly and turn your profile into something extremely professional in seconds. So it doesn't take long.
All right.
That everybody goes and does that. Okay.
All right.
It's just got your name.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any questions?
Okay. None so far.
Okay. Good. So the next section that you want to focus on is your about section. So about section is an opportunity for you to tell people about who you are, what you've achieved. So, any achievement that you've got, or awards or voluntary work that you do, you want to put that in there. But you basically want to show people the kind of strong points that you have about your personality and what you're looking to connect with. And you want to show a little bit of personality in there as well. But you also want to include all the keywords that people would search for when it comes to looking for somebody like yourself. So as an example, if you are searching, I'm just going to go over here. So what type of search terms would people use if they were searching for somebody like the positions that you are looking for in the future?
I say commercial law practice or something related here. Commercial law practice.
Okay, so if you start typing in commercial law, you'll have as an example, for any search, if you're looking for groups or people or anything like that to hang out on, if you go into commercial law, the beauty of it is in LinkedIn, when you search, you get all these options over here that give you criteria. So say for argument's sake, you are looking for people that are in commercial law, and you may want to go and connect with people that already do what you do, or maybe you want to go and check out their profiles, ideas. I can go and click on people, and I can go and Thomas Jones as an example is the first one that comes up. And if I go in the new tab, and what you want to do is you want to have a look at the ones that come up at the top, and have a look at the words that are in their headline, as well as in their about. But now watch, if you look over here, if you're looking, you want to be found as a commercial solicitor or lawyer, then he has in his headline, he's got it over here in his position as well. So you might have that experience and your graduate education, and you can put there studying commercial law as an example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. One of the other things that you want to do over here is, you've already got all these positions in here, is try and expand a little bit on, you can see how it literally doesn't have any other information other than your position within those different societies.
Yeah.
So if you go on to, I'm just going to go on to my profile. When it comes to all the different things that you do, is if you go down my experience and you go and have a look at my coaching academy as an example, there you see how there's a bit more information in here and there's a bit of color. All you need to do is go and hit the pencil next to any of the positions that you've had. And if you go into those, and you scroll down, you've got an option at the bottom to add media. So as an example, if you've got a diploma or a degree or a certificate in anything that you've achieved, maybe a interview that you've done with, you can go and hit add media. You can upload that media or add the link to the external source. And what it will do is it will then add that color in here. And what you want to do is under your description over here is you want that all those keywords are there for what you're currently doing, so that that will show up when it comes to Google and search engine optimization as well. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I got it.
So that's your experience section. So we're going to go back to Joel again. Your education side of things as well. Is your Ekiti State University, do they have a company page or a page on LinkedIn?
No, unfortunately, sir, they don't.
Okay, so if you have a look over here, you've got it over there. You see that?
Okay.
So if I click on that, you'll see this is their that's the page.
Company, yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
with that company page, you should be able to link that to the education side of things as well, so that that logo just comes up there. But what you can do is under this, so each one of you will have different experience, but all of you will have your law degree or your law information in there. What you want to do is you want to expand underneath each one of those as to what you do. So you want to make sure that those search terms are in there by literally going and hitting that pencil next to each one, and then just scrolling down to the description. Okay. What most people do is they literally just put in the title, the company name, location, and that's it. So you want to make sure that you add as much information in there that is relevant to the experience that you've gotten with those companies. So what I would like everybody to do as well is go and have a look at, if you scroll down to the bottom of your profile, have this over here where it's your skills and endorsements. So the skills and endorsements, currently it's showing that you have one for graphics, one for graphic design, and one for Microsoft Office. Now, what is your speciality that you are wanting to be found for on LinkedIn? Joel?
Yeah, okay.
So what?
Please ask the question again. I love specialty. I think graphic design.
Okay, so you're studying law, but you want to be found for graphic design. Does that make sense? Okay, we've got Tomiwa has also joined us, which is great. Joel, if you you've got your sound back.
Yes, sir.
So with your skills, you want to make sure that your skills are reflective of the things that you want to be found for as well. So would I go to a solicitor or a lawyer for my graphic design business?
Okay.
Is that a yes or a no?
A yes.
So would I go to a lawyer for graphic design?
Well, no, certainly no. You can't go to a lawyer for a graphic design. That is just an added skill. Yeah.
Okay. So those are your added skills, but you want to make sure that the primary skills, the main ones that are underneath your profile, reflect what it is you are wanting people to find you for as well. So
exactly.
If I went and searched for your profile and searched for a law graduate as an example, I wouldn't have that come up because I wouldn't have anything to do with law or legal research or anything like that, because it hasn't been endorsed.
Okay.
Okay, so what you want to do is if you go onto somebody's profile, now you and I aren't connected. I go to, let's have a look at Tamiwa over there. And I go down to Tamiwa's section over here. And you can see she has public speaking, law, problem solving, and others. Because we are connected, I can go and if each one of you connects to one of the other students as well, so whether it be the other students in your class or your professors or anybody else that you've worked with or volunteered with at any stage, and go and get them to endorse you for your skills. So
Okay.
what I would do is when it comes to endorsements, it's this easy. You click on the plus, and you would then go and have a look at rating that. And I would put Tamiwa, and I've heard Tamiwa do some phenomenal videos. If you guys haven't gone onto her profile, definitely go and check it out. Select relationship, and I can put over here, we work together indirectly on this project. So there you go. And now I've given her an endorsement for law. Okay. So when it comes to your skills, I'm just going to show you my profile very quickly. If you go and there's on your own profile, it will ask you to take the skills quiz, and that will allow you to choose the relevant skills to yourself. So really important. The next thing is adding a new skill. So you can go and choose up to 50 different skills that you can add, but you can also change the order of these skills. So Joel, as an example, you've got your graphic design at the top. Now you may want to have that in there, but you want to change the order. So as an example, I've got these 3 skills that I've chosen as my top primary ones. So each of you go and choose the skill that you want people to, the top 3 skills you want people to endorse you for, because that's how other employers and potential clients will also find you when they look at your profile on LinkedIn. So if you go under these and you see these little lines on the right, these give you the opportunity to drag them into any order that you want them to be in. So I can take, as an example, online social networking and put that first, and then LinkedIn, and then Sales Navigator, and you hit the save button, and that's done.
All right.
Okay. So Tamiwa, is Tamiwa around?
Yes, I am. I can hear you. Good evening.
Excellent. Good evening. It's good to have you on. So I'm going to go through your profile very quickly, purely because I think you've got quite a few good things going on there that other people can learn from. So I wanted to show you a few things firstly, Tamiwa, you've got this new banner over here. Are you running a podcast called The Podcast?
No, I am not.
Are you a podcaster now?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So you can see how easily it is to confuse when you see, hold on. There we go. On Tamiwa's profile there. So if you have a look at Tamiwa's profile, you can see that it says The Podcast. So as a law student, if I'm looking for somebody who is a law student who can help me with strategy and media and entertainment law, I might be a little bit confused if I go on there and I just see The Podcast. So what you want to do over there,
okay,
have something that's relevant to one of the projects that you're working on. You may be on a podcast and you can say, listen to my podcast. And remember, your banner you can change anytime. So you don't have to have it, once it's uploaded, you have to stay the same.
okay.
So you can change it and say, in December, you might have a theme and say, festive advice for people over the festive period when it comes to entertainment and media law. You may want to give tips and advice, so you can use that as a banner, and you can upload that. If I want to go into activity, so I want to show you just a few things that Tamiwa does really well, is when it comes to posting. And I want to find, here we go. So as an example, when she posts, she doesn't just do a straightforward single post. She actually puts some thought into the post and adds quite a bit of value. I'm just going to ask if you can turn your, I'm not sure whose volume is coming up there, but you can see quite a bit of information in here. The one thing I would recommend just on posting, Tamiwa, is when it comes to your hashtags, currently between 3 and 5 hashtags are optimum for the LinkedIn algorithm for you to get the most reach. So if you use too many, it may come across on the LinkedIn algorithm more as spam. So you want to make sure that you use, you can still use those words, but try not to overuse hashtags too many times. On Instagram, that works really well because you can use 20 to 30, but on LinkedIn, 3 to 5 is really the optimum number that you want to go for. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff. So I just wanted to go, and if you look at Tamiwa's posts, a lot of them have images of herself, so people can actually relate, and it's personable, so that LinkedIn used to be something that you had to be extremely professional, and very few people would put images of themselves. Now people are looking at being more connected to the individuals and getting to know them better as well. So just a quick recap on the profile and standing out. These are all the things that you want to make sure that you go and update in order to make sure that your LinkedIn profile comes up on the search results, both on Google as well as on LinkedIn. Even if you haven't got anything to put in, just put a dot in the field, just so that the field is completed, because LinkedIn see your profile as incomplete if you haven't completed all the areas. And you should have this little star where it says all star next to your profile, then you know you've completed all the different areas that you need to complete. Let me just go back over here. So a few things to think about is, with your profile is your brand. Now, each one of you, when you apply for positions, one of the biggest mistakes a lot of graduates make, or employees of all companies, is they will go onto LinkedIn and they will be active, and they'll start posting and they'll start looking for jobs. And then when they find a job, or they find an opportunity, or they are studying, they disappear off LinkedIn for a while, and it takes them ages to then come back. And the biggest challenge with that is, if you're only on LinkedIn when you need something, your audience will also get to be very aware of that. But also it makes it a lot harder to be able to find new opportunities without your current company or other people that you are linked to knowing about it. But if you show up on LinkedIn, 2-3 times a week on a regular basis to either engage, comment on other people's posts, as well as posting your own content 1 or 2 times a week, then LinkedIn will give you much more reach as well. And there's the whole concept of out of sight, out of mind. So you want to make sure that you continuously show up on LinkedIn. When it comes to the companies that you, so just a quick question, if you can throw into the chat, how many people are looking at job opportunities versus running their own businesses? So if you're looking at job opportunities, can you just put in job opportunities into the chat so that I can go through the, a few examples of how you can go and look at working with those perfect companies that you'd like to work with eventually? Okay, so we've got job opportunities in there. So I'm going to go for that one first versus, if you're running your own practice, you can put that in there as well, and I can show you a different angle on that. So, okay, so let me share my screen again. Okay, so if you're looking at working with some of the top 10 law firms in, whether they be in the UK or anywhere around the world, what you want to do is you want to, as an example, and we go top 10 law. Let's go in the world. Okay, so as an example, if you're looking at, these are apparently the top 10 largest law firms in the world. But if I go and take that first one as an example, and I go into LinkedIn and I go and put them into the search over there, you can see that straight away. And now you can go and do your research on this company so that you can create an opportunity for yourself to at least get on their radar. So as a law graduate, if you can be seen to be engaging with some of the top law firms around the world, when you do go and apply for the smaller ones, it gives you a lot more credibility and opportunity because they can see that you can hold your own with regards to discussions with some of the larger law firms already. And it's good to build up relationships with people that are already in the positions you would one day like to go into. So if you go onto LinkedIn, and I'm going to go onto this company's page. So apparently one of the biggest in the world. And when you go onto their page, this is where you want to go and hang out. You want to be able to go and get in front of the right people. So there are a few ways to do it. One of them is go and have a look at their posts. And here is a little hack that will give you a major advantage over most other law students. Is if I go and have a look at, and here's a perfect example. If I go and have a look at this post over here, and it's just one of the recent posts on the company page, and you can see there's 79,000 followers. Now, guaranteed, there are a lot of competitors that are following them as well as a lot of the followers will be company employees, as an example, because people tend to kind of feel obliged to follow those company posts. Now, if you have a look at this post, let me just show you, hopefully you can see that. There's a few numbers here that will stand out to you. Now, if you look at a company page, this is the world's supposed largest law firm, but have a look at how many likes they have. So if you just hit the like button, you'll just disappear into those 300 odd numbers. What I tend to do is if I go onto that, I'll hover over that and I'll have a look at one of those. And I may say that this is an insightful post. And guess what? There's only one comment on a post with 79,000 followers, which means if I really want to stand out, I can literally just go and put a comment in there, and I can go and I can use the @ sign to tag them. And then I can make a relevant and a value add comment to their post. So I can go and have a look over here, and it says the funds being donated, awarded to Kirkland by the state of Maryland. Let's have a look here. So as an example, I might want to quote that in my post, and I can just go, and there we go. So now I've made a comment on that company's post, but because I'm only one of 2 people who have commented, there's a much higher chance that somebody in the organization has seen my post. Now, if I click on this number over here, it's going to show me all the other people that are following this post. Now, every one of them that have liked the post will get a notification to say that I have commented on a post that they've already liked. So it's a great way to get in front of all these people. So if I go and have a look at this, you can see paralegal at Kirkland's. I can see internship trainee at another law firm. I can see somebody who's a candidate at another law firm, Kirkland's. And you can just go, if you go through this, Goldman Sachs is on there. There's some very big organizations, but there'll be a lot of employees or partners at that company that will now have seen me add some value there. Now, the next thing I can do is I can go and have a look at, if I go to the top of the page, I can go and have a look at the people. And you may want to go and find specific types of people in specific countries. So I may want to go where they live or where they've studied and go show more. And if you go through those, you might find a university that you know somebody else at, or you might go, okay, well, I want to work with people in, say, London. So if I click on London, it's going to give me all the people that are based in London at the bottom over here that I can then go and follow, connect, and comment on. What I would do is I would always start with those people that have got banners in the back, because there's a chance that they're actually more active on LinkedIn, as an example. Do we have any questions so far on this process?
I don't think there is any, sir. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. So when it comes to you applying for those positions, one of the things that I would suggest is going on to and following the strategy of finding the top law firms by using the search option within LinkedIn, going and making sure that you comment on regular posts by the company as well as individuals. So I'm going to show you one more thing quickly. So if I want to find out who's talking about this company, if I go and put that in and just hit the enter button, I can go and have a look at posts that mention this company. And you can see there they are mentioned. And I can go and see who else is talking about them and what they're involved in. And this is how you can show up and be relevant to what's going on within the company. So I can go and have a look at, they're doing a Law Careers Net Live event in London. And you can literally go and see, what are they talking about? What are other people talking about them? Why are they being mentioned? And you can go and do your homework and research on these companies and show up all over the place by just commenting on anything that's relevant, but make sure that you add value. And once you do that, what I tend to do is, as an example, if I've commented on, let's go and have a look at other posts. You can see how easy it is to get noticed by the company, because have a look at how many people are commenting on their posts. And this is such an easy strategy to get ahead of almost every other, person. Even, if you're trying to get them as a client, it's easy to get onto their radar purely because of the fact that nobody else is commenting. Company pages get very few engagement. It's the people that get more engagement. And those are the, go and here we go. Now I want to show you something else. So if I, as an example, if I want to connect with Zafar or Zafir, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm going to go into Joel, and Joel, I'm going to send you a connection request. But if you're sending a connection request to anybody, you want to make sure that you hit the connect button and you add a note so that you can tell people why it is that you're trying to connect with them. So I will go, as an example, and I'll send him a personal invitation. Now, if you go on to, let's have a look here, Kenda, we didn't get a chance to go onto yours, but you've already turned on, if I'm correct, you've got creator mode on. So for yours, a lot of people will only be able to follow you and not connect with you. So what you want to do, for those of you who aren't that familiar with LinkedIn, is you want to click the more button and then hit the connect button. If you, otherwise, all that happens is you just follow them and you'll get notifications on what they do. And if you click that, you then have an option to go and connect by adding a note as well. So Kehinde, if you can send me a connection request, I'll accept yours, and then I can give you some more tips on your profile. But a lot of them are going to be exactly the same as Joel when it comes to your banner, your photograph, Remember, on a mobile phone, if your photograph is that small, most people are not going to know if it's the person that they had met in real life and be able to see that live. So Joel and Tomiwa, I'm not sure how much time you still have, because I know we only started, I think, 12 minutes late. So I'm happy to run for another few minutes. It all depends on how much time everybody else has.
It's fine. You can go ahead. Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff. Okay, if you have any other questions that you want answered specifically today, feel free to throw those in the chat, and I'll cover that as well. So, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to share a few principles with you that are really important to know when it comes to you adding value. So the three things you want to get right on LinkedIn almost immediately is, number one is to get your profile right so that it all looks professional, your photograph's nice and clear, your banner's up there, and you've got all the relevant information completed in your profile. The second thing that you want to do is you want to be able to put content out that is interesting and adds value. So I'll go through that in a second. And the third thing you want to do is then start connecting with those relevant people in the industry or your target audience. Now, initially, it's going to be job opportunities with different law firms. So you want to make sure that your profile reads perfectly for when you do apply for those jobs. And one of the things that I would recommend, highly recommend, is once you've started doing your research on all the top companies you would like to work with, regardless of where they are in the world, is start building those relationships today. Start following their posts, start following the individual people's posts, because you want to make sure that you are already on their radar, so that if in 6 months or a year's time you're ready to apply, you can go onto their company page, look at the jobs that are available, apply, and then I would go and comment on one of the company pages and say, hey, you know, been following your company page for 3 months, 6 months, really excited about some of the value that you bring, and just wanted to let you know I've even gone and applied for a position at your company purely because of what I've seen online. And that way, because they see that you've applied, and because they've seen your name come up on a regular basis, they will be familiar with you, and there's a higher chance that they are going to contact you directly to speak to you about opportunities, rather than clicking the apply button and then never hearing anything back from people. So the key thing over here when it comes to content is you want to make sure that you understand these principles. So the first one is something called 1990. And basically what that means to you is that only 1 to 2% of people on LinkedIn actually post content. So what that means to you is that just by posting something on LinkedIn and adding value about the subject that you are interested in, already puts you 98 to 99% ahead of all your competitors in your field. So that's how easy it is to just stand out. So make sure your profile is up to date and start posting valuable content. Definitely go and check out Tomiwa's profile for some examples, or my profile for some examples of what kind of content you can post. Feel free to reach out to me and send me a message, and I can give you some more ideas as well. The next thing is that about 8 to 9% of people actually, they are the people that engage on the profile. So those are the people that will like, comment, and share your content. So you really want to make sure that those are the people that you engage with on a regular basis. So if somebody likes your post or somebody comments on your post, you know, reach out to them, thank them, because people, if they're taking the time to engage with your post, those are the people that you really want to be able to make sure that you thank, so that when you post in the future, every time they engage with your post, their audience and their connections also get to see your posts. And then the other part is the 90%. Now the 90, on the 90%, those are the people that never comment, never like, but they're reading all the time. They're scrolling, they're going through it on their mobile, they're going through it on their PC, but they may work for an organization where, they have a social media policy where they're not supposed to be on social media, and therefore they don't like and comment anything just in case their bosses or the senior partners see that they're on social media all the time. So, take note that a lot of the people that are your potential opportunities or potential recruiters or your potential job opportunity bosses, as an example, they may actually not be that active on LinkedIn or don't look active, but they are watching. So really important to remember that. The next thing is the 411 strategy. Don't be posting about trying to sell yourself all the time. I'm looking for a job, please help, all that kind of stuff. What you want to be doing is you want to post on a regular basis about, showing that you have expertise in your industry. So as an example, if you are studying commercial law, like Joel wants to do, you may want to have a look at, commercial law stories in the news, and then share a link to, whether it be CNN or any of the major news channels that talks about something happening within commercial law. Go and share that on LinkedIn, and then put your own commentary on there and give your own opinion on there so that people can see that you're staying up to date with the latest things that are happening. If there's a new change of law, as an example, you want to go and share that and say, hey, well, there's a new law that will impact businesses or corporations in a certain way. Have you thought about how that will impact your business? And just start engaging people and asking questions. It's also a great opportunity for you to ask questions from your peers. So you may want to, start connecting with all the top litigators around the world, as an example. And then, as you build up your connections through those people, getting them to comment on your posts and engage with you, because the day that you are ready to apply for a position, you'll be quite shocked and surprised to be able to already have that momentum and that audience of people who have a vested interest in trying to help you find that position, because they already know a little bit about your personality. So if you look at Tomiwa as an example, I already know what her voice sounds like. I can see how passionate she is about what she does. She asks really good questions. She posts really valuable content. So I almost feel like, even though I've never met her, I feel like I know her already because of her presence on LinkedIn. And that's what you want to create, is that opportunity to build rapport with people, even when you're not online yourself. So the next thing is post consistently. You don't have to post 5 times, 10 times a day, or every day of the week, but even just once or twice a week, algorithm will pick that up. So it's really important to be consistent. In your posts, it's if I look at, let's go and have a look over here. I want to see if Tomiwa has done this. Okay, so one of the things, Tomiwa, as an example, that I would suggest is try and have a hook in your first line so that people know exactly why. So as an example, this video I watched, and was really good information on there, but having a little hook on there about why am I watching this, what is it about, would also be able to help quite a bit. And then having subtitles on there would also be able to help. So there are different apps that you can use. I tend to keep my videos to 30 to 60 seconds at the most, but there are various apps that you can use that can transcribe and actually add the text, similar to what you may see at the bottom of the Zoom screen, so that those people that are watching it in silent, like we have now, are able to still read while they're on the train, or they're on a bus, or they're sitting in in the office, and they don't want somebody to know that they're watching and listening to something online, as an example. So it gives you a much higher chance of getting engagement on your post. And then over here is a great little hook over there. I choose career over and again. Straight away, it's a one line. It gets people's attention, and people, they want to know, what are you talking about? So they click and they hit the see more. If it looks like this, as an example, a lot of the time, because it's a lot of text and filling that block, for some people, that block text, it will frighten them away because it looks like a lot of reading, and it will just send them away. But by having that hook and then getting something that's going to get people to hit that see more button, that will increase your view counts and your exposure quite a bit as well. Let me go back here. So these are the kind of things that you want to have a look at, is that pain, process, and outcome. So as an example, if you're doing a lot of volunteer work or you're working with any organizations at the moment, because of obviously data protection, you can't mention names or companies in specific, but you can tell stories. You can talk about, we just had this client that I'm working with that had this problem. And the problem, this is what we went through this process in order to be able to help them. And now because of what we've done, this is the outcome that they've had. And that way you allow people to, through storytelling, be able to have an opportunity to look at your post and go, so you work with people that have gone through something like what I've gone through. And if that becomes relatable, you'll have more people engaging with it, as well as recommending you to people who can use your services or recommend you for positions with other companies as well. So last but not least, these are the things that I want to finish off on is, LinkedIn is all about making connections from individuals, and it's personal connections. It's not just hitting the connect button. You want to make sure that, on LinkedIn, I've got the option over here with, so, if I go to my network, if you look at the bottom over here, what a lot of people will do is they'll just hit connect. And this is how they grow their network. And the problem with that is you end up having a lot of followers, a lot of people that you're connected to, but you don't know any of them. So it's really important that you take time. So for me, as an example, I get, so I'm just going to have a look today. So if I go, so today I've got 13 people invitations. Now, generally, most of these I probably wouldn't even accept them unless they've got a message like this. So this lady's actually taken time to go and say, I saw what you said about somebody's post. She's given a reason why I should connect with her, and it'll make it easier for me to accept. Now, every single person that I accept a connection request from, I would then go and send them a personalized message so that they've got, they can hear my voice. And the beauty of that is on the mobile app, you can actually go, if you go under messaging and you create a message, you've got these options over here to, you can attach things, you can add photographs, GIFs, all of that information. But on the mobile app, you can actually do a 60-second recording. So you can literally just send a voice clip to say, hey, Tomiwa, thank you so much for connecting with me. I look forward to learning more about you on LinkedIn. Straight away, they know it's a real person, and it adds massive value in being able to build that rapport with people as well. So for all of you who are already connected or not connected with me yet, please do go onto the mobile phone app and send me a personalized connection request so that I can connect with you and also respond to you so you can see how that feature works. It will change the conversion rate that you get from connecting with people massively. So hopefully that's been of use to you. Just having a look if there's anything else. I think considering time, I'm going to end over there for today, but and then just finish with any questions that you may have at this stage. Thank you for this. Oh, you were, Joel, you were asking for an example. So I've just put it into the chat. There's one that you can use on Apple, which is Clip-O-Matic. It only allows you to do up to 60 seconds, but it converts your voice into text, and you can edit the text as well afterwards. But there's several others, other apps that you can have a look at as well. Big View is another one.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot. I would like to make a request.
Yes.
All right. I would like to ask if you can make available the slides. The slides you just make.
Yeah, of course.
And then the recording for today's session.
Absolutely, I can do that. So Joel,
Alright.
once you've connected with me on LinkedIn, send me a message,
All right.
email that you want me to send it to, and I will make that happen for you.
All right. Thanks a lot. And I would like us to have another session, maybe very soon or next year, preferably.
Sure, absolutely. And what we can do is, if you give me a little bit more direction on who is going to be on the sessions, we can do a little bit more of a clearer session as to. I know this one was put together fairly last minute, but if you want to give me some specifics of what you would like out of the sessions, examples of type of companies you want to connect with, what kind of job opportunities people are looking for, then we can make it a lot more specific for you as well.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay, hopefully that's been useful. And if I could ask everybody just to go onto my profile and just hit that endorsement under the LinkedIn side of things, greatly appreciated.
All right, surely we'll do that.
Excellent stuff. Any final questions? Hopefully I didn't go too fast.
No, apparently.
Excellent stuff. Okay, well, listen, I thank everybody and I wish you all the best. Ironically, I studied law as well, so I know the pain that you're going through, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thanks a lot, sir. I appreciate you too. Thanks so much for sparing your time.
Only a pleasure. Listen, all the best.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye, everybody.